Gnorrs by Cromlech. Really fun things and very seasonal too. Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and I'm going to have a closer look at some of the Cromlech figures. And these are quite interesting, cute little figures. These are called Gnorrs, and they're like a two-legged little pet type of monster, funny little thing. And these particular ones are themed for the particular holidays. So we've got a Halloween one, and then we've got the newer Christmas one. And also we'll have a closer look, and I'll explain a little bit of difference about why resin, because these are resin cast, why they are better than, say, injection molded plastic. And just by doing some close-ups, you'll be able to see the advantages of them. Okay, so let's just switch over to the top camera here. So here we go. So this one here, one with the big pumpkin head on it, that is a Halloween Gnorr. Okay, so you can see how it's got the clawed feet, it's got these huge teeth hanging out of the pumpkin. So it's one of those things that is not a major playing type figurine or character that you use in your gaming, but it's something a bit fun and just adds character, I think. And having a theme one, you swap it in and out from your battles or even on your dioramas, it's a bit of fun. Okay, and there's our Christmas Gnorr. So that's the latest limited edition. So you can see more of his face, but someone's put a red nose on him, so he's like a reindeer. And he's got the reindeer antlers. They're strapped on, so you can see the straps as well around his head. And then there's a ball hanging off his tail. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in with a bit of zoom so you can see these details a bit better. All right, here we go. Okay, there's a Halloween one. You can definitely see the pumpkin. Okay, so to explain the differences with resin casting, you'll notice that with resin casting, because the molds are soft, they're a silicon, they can actually hold a lot of detail, and quite often you see them with just one casting or a few parts. You know, obviously with the less number of parts, the easier it is to make, and it is easier to manufacture as well. But the advantages you see here is you see that some of these details are undercut. See, like the teeth? This is something that you can't do with injection molded plastic because you'll have two halves or three parts if it's a multi-piece mold, and you won't be able to do this sort of undercutting because the mold will get caught when it's trying to separate. Now, if they tried to do a very clever cut across here, you'll end up with seam lines all the way across the teeth. Now, with one-piece casting, you see that this is the pour mark because they'll be pouring them upside down. The resin will be put in this way. It'll fill it all up. Excess will come up the top, and then it's trimmed from here. So that's pretty much the only lines you're going to see. There might be a few faint lines from where the mold is actually cut, just so they can pull the whole thing out. But you can see already, it's very, very clean. Okay, like you got all this undercutting within here as well, around the tail, and the backside. And you'll notice that, like this ribbon ropey looking thing here, how it's all undercut on the bottom here. And when I say undercut, it's got the details that go very close to this surface. On injection molded type, this would be all rounded without that line on the inside. And you can see the details inside the eyes. Okay, you can actually see his eyeballs through the pumpkin, and then you got all the texture on the big teeth, and then the bottom of the pumpkin as well to his stomach and the claws. So that's the pumpkin one. All right, and now let's look at, here's a happy little chappy in here. So this is the Rudolph version. Okay, and this, by zooming in, you can see the ropes that's holding on his red nose there, all the way around to the back of his legs, and then you've got the reindeer ears as well, and they're strapped to the top of his head and held under the chin. Get a better idea of what an actual Gnorr looks like from here. So he's got those beady eyes, big teeth, huge mouth, and then there's a bauble that's hanging on the end. And again, you can see how silicon molds and resin casting have allowed this all to be one piece. So you don't have to worry about gluing it in the particular position, and they have super detail too. I mean, look at the bow and how it's been tied to the end of the tail. See all the warts and everything everywhere? You've got the huge ears, and then the legs. So So all you need to do here is, you see the mold points here, they just need to be trimmed off. You see a little knob on the end there? Just trim that off, a little bit of a sand, and then you can pop them onto either the supplied, pretty standard black stands like that, or you can put in whatever sort of base you like. Put it as part of a large diorama as well. So you can see these two together. Good friends. All right, so there you go. So these are the Knorrs by Cromlech. Really fun things and very seasonal too. So seeing it's coming to Christmas, I guess it makes sense to get rid of, but this little pumpkin guy from Halloween, he's pretty cool too. So there you go. I'm sure they'll have more seasonal ones in the future as well, but they're the current ones at the moment, and they look fantastic. So if you want to try gaming type miniatures, they're quite small, but there's lots of character. You can see you can do all the warts in different colors and such. And then the nose, obviously, do it in red for a traditional, or you can paint any color you like. So there you go. These are the Cromlech Knorrs in Halloween and Christmas theme.